What's up guys, it's Cal, and now with new information about the next WoW expansion, Battle for Azeroth, rapidly coming out, I want to talk about one character in particular that is going to be at the forefront of this expansion, increasing the tension between the Horde and the Alliance. That individual is Jaina Proudmoore. Now I don't want to focus this video on how she'll play a part in the next expansion, but I want to take a look at her character progression since she was first introduced into the Warcraft universe, both her model and her demeanor. So let's go all the way back to Warcraft 3, where she was an apprentice of Antonidas, an archmage of the Kirin Tor. Through her studies at Dalaran, remember we're talking about Alterac Mountains Dalaran, not the floating island, she met Arthas, who was essentially playing hard to get. They would be together romantically, then he would separate from her the next day so she could focus on her studies, and this just went on and on and on. Antonidas and his students, this includes Jaina, then traveled to Lordaeron to learn about this undead plague stuff. They were told to turn back by this prophet dude. Antonidas was like, nah man, I'm not doing that. Jaina was like, I don't know, he sounds like he kinda knows what he's talking about. So Jaina then met up with Arthas at Braille, where they saw some funky undead voodoo stuff. This included the necromancer known as Kel'Thuzad, to which Arthas killed him. Murdered him in cold blood. They then stopped at Hearthglen, which was plagued, so Jaina went to go find Uther, the Lightbringer, while Arthas fought essentially a losing battle. Jaina then returned to Hearthglen with Uther, who essentially saved the day, kind of. I mean, Hearthglen was still destroyed, but he saved the day. Arthas then ran off to Stratholme, where Jaina and Uther followed him. Surprise, surprise, Stratholme was corrupted. Arthas, with his almighty judgment, elected that they should kill the plagued citizens before they turned to undead. Uther said no, because that just feels morally wrong. Uther then turned and walked off, and Jaina followed him. You could see this entire scene play out in the Calling of Stratholme dungeon, by the way. Jaina was then visited by the same prophet as before. Spoiler alert, that prophet is Medivh. He told her that she should leave. She should just get out and take everyone with her and sail to Kalimdor, which she did, and when she arrived, she was met by Grom Hellscream and some orcs. They battled, and well, it didn't turn out too well for her because she fled to Stonetal Mountain, where she met Thrall and Karn, Bloodhoof. They almost fought until Medivh came back, which by the way seems to pop in at the perfect times. He told them that they should all ally because, well, I mean the Burning Legion's out there, and as we all know, no one likes the Burning Legion. Jaina then gave Thrall a soul gem, which she used to wash away all of Grom Hellscream's evils that reside inside of him. And, well, that's how Jaina and Thrall became best buds. They fought side by side, through thick and thin. Grom ended up dying, but that doesn't matter, because at least they had each other. Jaina and Thrall then ran into Tyrande Whisperwind and Malfurion Stormrage. Oh, and then Medivh popped out of nowhere and said that they should all join forces to fight the Burning Legion. So they did, and they defended Hajal. Jaina then took all of her peeps to an island off the eastern coast of Kalimdor, which was then called Theramore. Rexxar shows up and then accuses her of some Durotar conspiracy assassination attempt. She was like, nah, that wasn't me, but I can help you find out who did it. So she once again teams up with an orc. You'd think she might have a thing for orcs, I don't know. Her and Rexxar and his clan, known as the Machnathal, investigate. But before any true detective work took place, Daddy Proudmoore, also known as Dalen Proudmoore, well, let me tell you, he had to daddy up, essentially. He captured Rexxar and wanted to know why his daughter would group with an orc. But nevertheless, Rexxar escaped. Thrall got an army together to fight Dalen Proudmoore's assault, and at this point, Jaina was torn. I mean, Thrall was her friend and Dalen was her father, so she didn't know who to side with. From this situation, she pretty much deduced that her father was being petty and declined to help him. So, she helped the Horde instead. Oh, but not only did she help the Horde, she told her own troops to stand down as orcs entered the city. Now, in return for Jaina helping Thrall and Rexxar, well, they promised to keep the human casualties to a minimum. To a minimum. You know, we're gonna kill some of your friends, don't worry, not all of them, just some of them. And in this scuffle, Jaina's father was killed by Rexxar. Now we come to World of Warcraft. This is her model, in both Vanilla and Burning Crusade. Now she didn't play a huge role in these expansions, but this is essentially what went down with her. She was the ruler of Theramore and wanted to have a get together with Thrall and King Varian Wrynn to not have so much conflict going on. But as we know, Varian went missing. He was nowhere to be seen for a couple expansions. Her, along with another Theramore mage known as Turvosh, captured an ex-Kulturos Marine named Private Handel, at which point they found out that the Devious Brotherhood were the ones who captured Varian, and they were also allied with Onyxia. So she told this news to Bolvar Fordragon, and then in Burning Crusade, she aided the Draenei when they crashed into Azeroth. Now here's her model for the next two expansions. For Wrath of the Lich King, Bolvar Fordragon dies at the Wrathgate. Well, he doesn't exactly die. He just gets some 3rd-degree burns by dragons and then the Lich King tortures him, which pissed off Varian. And since Varian's pissed, he wants to retaliate and start a war with the Horde, since the Forsaken killed Bolvar. Jaina then teleports to Orgrimmar to warn them because she doesn't want another war. She tells them that she's going to try and stop Varian, but no promises. King Varian's troops and the Undercity troops then clash outside the Undercity, because he hopes to take it back as Lordaeron. Jaina's like, no, and then freezes them all and teleports them all back to Stormwind. Ulduar then rolls around once Bran Bronzebeard lets everyone know that Yogg-Saron has escaped his prison. Ronan and Jaina call for a meetup with the Horde and Alliance in Dalaran. So Varian shows up, Thrall and Garrosh show up, and things get a bit awkward, and Varian and Garrosh get into a fight, which results in Varian leaving, since he doesn't want to work with Horde due to what happened to Bolvar. Icecrown then rolls around, and Jaina wanted to rekindle her relationship with Arthas. I don't know, I guess she's into bad boys. She then goes through those 3 dungeons with the small group of Alliance troops. That's us. But when she gets to the Halls of Reflection, she notices Frostborn, the blade that corrupted Arthas. She then tries to talk to the spirits emitting out of the sword, and lo and behold, one of the spirits is Uther the Lightbringer, because Arthas killed him. He told her that Arthas was no more, and to save Azeroth, the Lich King would have to be killed, and someone would have to take his place. Arthas then walks into the room, acknowledging Jaina, and then walks off with Frostborn, as Jaina runs after him. He's still playing hard to get, as you can see. Then the abusive boyfriend that Arthas is gets into a scuffle with Jaina, and at this point, we escape with her right before she dies. Now, if you finish the Shadowmourne quest chain and get the sealed chest from the Lich King, it contains Jaina's locket, which you can give to Jaina, to which she proceeds to cry and says that she knew that there's some part of Arthas that was trapped inside the Lich King. Then Cataclysm. Jaina didn't really play a major part. She was just aware that Garrosh was the new leader of the Horde and that he planned to take over Kalimdor. So a second highway was built off Theramore, so supplies could be sent to the Alliance bases in Southern Barrens. And then Mists of Pandaria, the expansion that changed Jaina forever. Now this is her model in that expansion. Notice the white hair with the gold highlight. Anyways, Jaina, being the same Jaina that we've known since Warcraft 3, was concerned with the Horde and Alliance tension since she was never into that. Jaina met up with her best bud, Thrall, and told him to keep Garrosh under control, to which Thrall was pretty much like, nah girl, I'm a shaman of the Earthen Ring now. Jaina then returns to Theramore, and Caligos shows up, to tell her that a focusing iris has gone missing, and for her to help him find it. We find out later that this focusing iris was used to create the mana bomb that wipes out Theramore. Jaina and Calic bonded over trying to find this thing, but then Pained, who's a night elf and one of Jaina's assistants, learned of an attack that the Horde are planning and warned Jaina. Bane Bloodhoof then warned Jaina of Garrosh's plans to attack, since Bane of course doesn't like Garrosh very much because, you know, the whole killing his father thing. Then everyone started to show up to defend this attack. Farisa Windrunner, Chandra's Feathermoon, and some others. Jaina asked Ronan for help, but he said he couldn't due to Karentor's neutral status. The first attack from the Horde was repelled, but Jaina was still unaware of their secret weapon, the mana bomb. Garrosh wanted to gather all the Alliance into one place and do as much damage as possible with this mana bomb. Ronan then used a portal to hide Jaina so she could escape and, well, not get killed. But once she woke up, everything was gone. Theramore laid in ruins, Pained, Ronan, and Turvosh were all dead. And boy, was Jaina mad. She rushed to Stormwind and told Varian to attack Orgrimmar at full force. Varian said it wouldn't be that simple, so she traveled to Dalaran and tried to convince the Kirin to fight the Horde, but they declined due to the Kirin neutral status. Jaina then decided to take matters into her own hands and summoned an army of water elementals to drown Orgrimmar. Thrall tried to stop her, but she said this was all his fault because he wouldn't keep Garrosh under control. It was Caligos who ended up stopping her. She then discovered that there were blood elves inside the Kirin who were aiding the Horde even though the Kirin is supposed to stay neutral. Once she found this out, she completely purged the Kirin of all Horde and allied the Kirin with the Alliance. She felt betrayed by the Horde on 2 occasions and grew a hatred for the opposite faction. Then the Throne of Thunder raid rolls around, so Jaina makes her way to the Isle of Thunder to defeat the Thunder King herself so the Horde couldn't obtain his powers. And on the way, she allies with Terran Zu of the Shadowpan, and then she forms the Kirin offensive. Then she noticed the Blood Elves arrived with the Sun Reavers. Then came Siege of Orgrimmar, where Jaina arrived alongside Lorewalker Cho and Lorthamar in the Vault of Yasharaj, where Garrosh released the Shaw of Pride because he's Stupid. Jaina then assaulted the Bladefist Bay with Farisa, Varian, Sylvanas, and Lord Thamar. Then ultimately Garrosh was defeated and told Varian to finish the Horde off once and for all, but Varian just didn't exploit that opportunity. Then we come to Warlords of Draenor, where Jaina pretty much chilled at Khadgar's tower in Zangara, where Garona Halfrican attacked Khadgar and Jaina just pretty much told her to get lost. And then Jaina just stayed there to empower her legendary rings. Now for Legion. After being exiled for expansions, Khadgar goes to the Council of the Six and initiates a vote to let the Horde back into the Kirin Tor. Jaina loses this vote with only her and Ansarum Runeweaver voting to keep them out. This only made her more angry and resigned her membership with the Kirin Tor. This meant Khadgar had to lead them against the Burning Legion. And now here we are. Battle for Azeroth. And as you can see, she got a bit of an upgrade to her model. In Battle for Azeroth, she's said to be featured quite a bit, possibly even more than Miss Pandaria. She'll return to her home of Kulturos, reconcile with her mother, Jaina Proudmoore, and then convince the forces of Kulturos to join the Alliance. And that's all we know of, as of yet. But yeah, that's Jaina's story arc since her appearance in Warcraft 3. I hope you guys liked this video. If you do, you can leave a like on it and sub to the channel for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
All I ever wanted to do was study.